Hey. Hello, humans. So today's the day, even though I'm grossly unprepared for it, emotionally, mentally. I have been inspired to finally make and address the thing. So, this is the, shall we call it, me planning my future with ASMR roleplay. And I even, a while ago, wrote down the list of what I was planning on doing. So, let's start with the intro. So the purpose of this video is to talk to you guys about what I plan to do with my ASMR roleplay, what videos I've already planned to make, what's inspired me recently, things that I've written down and planned and written a script for, and things of that nature. So, one thing that I have at the very least alluded to at this point is the characters that I play when I roleplay, there are 5 of them, and they each represent an emotion of mine. So the first one, which is the very first character that that I posted that you really learn about timeline-wise, is Diana, and she represents my romance, my love, my very sweet, those kind of things. And okay, Tanner, just cover the entire camera on the screen. And she was the baseline roleplay, and she helped me get through the first phase of inspiration. And then the second through the 5th characters are they didn't really come in order, they all just kind of came at once. My second most prominent character emotionally for me is Brielle. She represents my darkness. She represents all the dark things I've ever thought, all the madness, the insanity, the law-breaking kind of characteristics of people, and things that I've thought of but have never actually considered doing, because that's not who I am. It's just an entertaining thing for me. It intrigues me to think about those things. Thirdly, there is crap, what was her name? They're all these characters are informally introduced in my sleepover video. I think, I can't remember what I titled it, but it's basically a co-ed sleepover and all that. And so all the names are in there. So just in case I completely forget, they're all in there. My anger is represented by Serenity. She's the snarky one. She's the one who's she's a person of action. She doesn't really let words describe herself. She's more physical. And for me, I'm a physical person. Like, I touch people, I use my hand motions to explain things, so that's where all that gets put in. She talks a lot, don't get me wrong. It's just she's very active and emotional and impulsive. And she is, if there ever was one, a tsundere of my group of characters. Let's see. We have Violet, who represents my sadness. She's very wise. She she knows a lot. She has wisdom. I just said she was wise. What is wrong with me? I can't, my brain doesn't like me. In some cases, when I have them have supernatural powers, she has visions of the future, and she can read people's emotions, things like that. So she's a very knowledgeable, informed person, very collected, very not like me. It's great. So that's her. And then there is Charity, who represents my happiness and all of my positivity and all the good things about me, my generosity, my kindness, my empathy. She is also, I mean, they're all a big part of me, but without her, without that characteristic that I have that is extremely strong, I would not be alive right now. She's kept me alive this whole time. And I say my characters are like people because in some ways they are. They have their own personalities. They're their own people. They have their own likes, dislikes, and interests and everything. And there are times where it seems like I confuse them with myself, but I promise you, they are genuinely separated from me. They are not a separate personality. They are a character. They are their own person, separate from me. If that makes sense. Okay, moving on. These characters exist as an outlet for me and a way to cohesively tell my stories and express these emotions that I'm trying to convey in my roleplay. And hopefully it comes across. I don't know, because, you know, I only see what I see. I can't read people's minds, unfortunately. That would be really helpful in this situation, but, you know. Let's see, what else? What did I... So, that aside, I hope this makes sense as a segue, but the reason I started this whole thing, this whole roleplay scenario, was I haven't created in a long time, and I was a lot was going on, a lot was happening, just like every day of my life, and it finally just tipped over, and I followed this shred of inspiration I had, and I just made it. I created this story, the first one that I made here, of this girl who was busy and she had a lot to do, and she had this friend who is a guy, because I am, not that this matters too much, but I am straight, and that's what I relate to. That's all I really know. And I do plan to do, just for, you know, to clarify, I do plan to do different kind of sexuality off plays, but I don't know enough about them to do them just yet. Out of respect, I am going to wait until I am more prepared for those kind of things. But yeah, so this girl works super hard, does a lot of stuff all the time, super busy. She's, you know, not only does she work, but she makes sure to take the time to talk to people and be friends, and one friend in particular, which is the listener, who can be a girl, of course. You can always just, you know, put yourself into it, but she does say he and him, I think, or I don't know. It's weird, but when I was playing it, I played it as if it was a man, because that's what I know. Excuse me. This other character that I was playing against in my imagination was just profoundly emotionally lost in this person. They couldn't stop thinking about them. They wanted to talk to them all the time. So they went to their house super drunk and passed out on their bed while they were waiting for them to come home. And I just all one take, just a stream of consciousness. I did practice it a couple of times before I recorded it so that I knew basically where it was going to go, but the rest of it was improv, and I think it's more natural that way. I do plan to do more scripted ones because there are some things that you need to prepare in order to portray a certain kind of emotion or message, in my opinion. So that happened, and the first week or so, just things like people started to look at it, like actually look at it and like it, and it was so weird. It was so weird for me, and that motivated me to keep doing it for a while until I just kind of stopped. And that happens, you know, my motivation weathers very quickly. So it's been about, I want to say 2 months since my last role play. But hopefully soon after this, I will be making one that I've been planning on making for a while, but maybe not. I just want to make something because it's been a while and I need to do it, not just for you guys, but more importantly for my own sake, because it's what I want to do and all that. Not that you guys aren't important, because, you know, you are. You're not, like, I shouldn't degrade my health to do something that people may or may not like. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But I want to make an effort to to make the people who enjoy my content that I've made in the past few months on and off, make them happy, because that's great. I love that feeling. I love receiving and I love giving, and hopefully I will continue to do it in a more reasonable timeline soonish. I don't know. This is me trying. Yay. Let's see. Now, the meat of the video. I don't remember why I wrote that. Most of this I just kind of oh, basically I drew an arrow from purpose of the video to meat of the video. Oh, that's just for me. I'm great. I know what I'm doing. Meat of this video is all these points down here. Okay. So the way that I kind of organize my thoughts and what I'm going to make video-wise, I organize them by, like, sometimes by subject, sometimes by emotions, sometimes by something I see and am immediately inspired by, sometimes by other people's emotional states and me wanting to express, like, motivation and things like that. I do plan to do that hopefully soon, because there's one person in particular who does the same content as me, and they made a video recently expressing their I don't want to say self-degrading because that's just a negative context all around, but they do not think very highly of themselves, and it's very clear when they were talking about themselves in the video. And there's a lot of that in this world because this world can be incredibly cruel and demoralizing, and in turn, in order to protect ourselves, which I have done a lot, is you're hard on yourself so that the rest of the world doesn't have to, even though they will. So it's just this backwards thinking that just isn't good. But anyway, so that's another thing. I will expand upon that later on in my life. I think I've touched on this a few times, but my main goal for this content, for my channel, and as a whole, really, I want to reach out to people. I want to make people smile, laugh, cry. I want people to feel something, because it's a lot of things in this world are so crass and just emotionally detached, and there's no real way to feel or express emotions as much sometimes. And this, in my opinion, is a great way for not only me to express myself and feel emotions that way and express the things that talk about the things that I want to, but I share that with other people, and then I give more people the opportunity, if they so choose, to feel and express and be inspired and all of that. Like, just make this whole circle of life thing. It's great, hopefully. I personally had this, I have this idea of grandeur later on, but it seems to be heading in that direction. If I grow a community, I plan to heavily interact with it, because I understand what it's like to be on the other side of the screen, wanting to communicate, wanting to not only just say, oh my goodness, I love your stuff, I want to talk to you and just fangirl all over the place and everything, but there's also that part of me that just wants to create with them, if that makes sense. I want to collaborate with them. I want to give them ideas, motivate them, inspire them, just be there for them. And I know that's kind of weird. I know I'm not alone in it, but it's still weird to say and feel. And hopefully, especially if/when I get a following, that can help in that respect. And the fact that I have something, a quantifiable degree of credibility, if you will, then I can accomplish those things easier. And a really big part of that is it's where you guys come in, if you so choose, of course, because you have your life, you need to do your stuff, whatever you want. This part is out of my control, and I would love it if you interacted with me. That would be great. But again, it's your decision. I won't be hurt or offended, or I won't, I'm good, but if you want to interact with me, I would love nothing more. That would be amazing. And hopefully, in the next couple of months, that will increase. I hope. I pray. So, that being said, thank you for watching. I'm just, there's a lot going on in my life, so I'm trying to figure out how to be a functional adult at 22. And I hope this will help me do what I want to do. And hopefully it will help you in some fashion. I don't know. But hopefully a character of mine you'll be hearing from us soon. Peace to you, humans.